everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darian and today I am doing a Q&A to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh, I still can't believe that I've hit 1,000 subscribers. I remember, we're gonna get a little snappy for a second, but I remember starting my channel and thinking, first of all, I never thought I would make it to 100 subscribers, let alone 1,000. But I remember thinking like, ugh, imagine hitting 1,000 subscribers. Like that would be the ultimate goal. Like that would be just amazing. But that was kind of like a faraway dream. I thought maybe I would reach it in a few years if I kept up my channel. I did not think I would reach it within a year. I am just very thankful and very grateful for this community and for everybody who has subscribed and for all my friends who have supported me. Thank you everyone so much. I am so grateful. So to celebrate, I thought it would be fun to do a little Q&A. I did do a Q&A when I hit 250 subscribers, I think. So if there's anything more you want to find out about me, you can go check that out. But there are a lot of questions here, so I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. Some of them will be interesting, so let's get into the questions because I have a feeling this is going to be a bit of a longer video. But yeah, let's just get into the questions. So I do have a few questions from Instagram, so I'll answer those first. So the very first question is from Rachel Karras, and she said, "Why is your laugh and smile so infectious?" Rachel, you're so sweet. It's just how I was made. But if you guys aren't subscribed to Rachel, she also recently hit 1K, so you better go subscribe if you're not already. Her smile and laugh is also very infectious, so definitely go check her out. But thank you, Rachel, that is very sweet of you. I can't answer that. Then my friend Nicole from Cup of Nicole asked me a few questions, and she hit 1K like a few days before I did, and we also did a live show together the other day to celebrate hitting 1K around the same time, and I am so grateful that I have found her friendship. We are like acquaintances, like I think we both knew of each other, but we never really spoke to each other for a while, and now all of a sudden we are just like best buds. I mean, I consider that. I hope she feels the same way. That would be awkward. But anyways, I love Nicole. So I'll leave every booktuber I mentioned mentioned or linked down below. That's the word I'm thinking of. I'll leave every booktuber I mention in this video linked down below. Definitely go check out every single one of them. They're all amazing. Okay. I'm gonna get flustered a lot in this video, I have a feeling. But Nicole's first question is, favorite thing about Laszlo, your pup? So if you guys don't know, I have a dog named Laszlo after Laszlo from Strange the Dreamer. So my favorite thing about him, I don't know, he's very cute. I can't pick, I don't know. I think right now my favorite thing is that like sometimes in the morning I'll be eating fruit, and like if I'm eating a banana or like an orange, I'll put a piece in his food bowl and he goes and picks it up and then runs to his bed to eat it, and I find that so cute that like he has to eat it on his bed because it's a special treat. I don't know, I find that really cute. So that's probably my favorite thing like right now. But in general, he's just a sweetie. Like, I mean, when we go on walks, he is very afraid of other dogs, so he likes to bark at them, so that can get kind of annoying. But like when it's just us at home, he is such a sweetie. I love him so much. So I hope that answers the question. Okay, Nicole also asked, what's your favorite thing about Strange the Dreamer? I don't know. I think my favorite thing is the characters, because I just love them all so much. Like even the characters you're not supposed to like, I just love them all so much. Lazlo, obviously, I named my dog after him. Sarai, even Mina, you know, Feral, Ruby, Sparrow, Errolthane, Azarine, even Theon, and I never know how to pronounce her name, but Calixte. If you've read the book, you know who I'm talking about. And Ruza, oh my gosh. Oh, and Nova and Cora, obviously. Like, I love them all so much. So I think the characters are my favorite thing. Okay, and then Nicole also said, post pic of your bagged milk in your fridge. I'm begging. So I can't believe I have to talk about this in a video on my channel now, but if you don't know, I live in Canada, and I think Lisa is the first person who asked me about this, but in Canada, I don't know if it's everywhere in Canada, but at least in Quebec, we have bagged milk, in case you don't know. I do not buy bagged milk. I barely even drink milk. Like, if we have milk in the house, it's almond milk usually. I don't buy bagged milk. But now I've become associated with bagged milk just because I'm from Canada, and in Canada we have that. But I don't buy it, so I do not have a picture to show you. If you want to see what it looks like, look it up. I do not. I want to be excluded from this narrative. I do not associate myself with bagged milk. I just want to stop talking about it. Okay. Then Naomi from Naomi's Library asked me a few questions, and Naomi, first of all, when I reached 1K, I had commented on one of her lives just saying hi, just wanted to pop in and say hi, and then Naomi pointed out that I was close to 1K, and then people subscribed, and then I hit 1K while I was watching her live, so thank you, Naomi, for that. I felt the need to mention that. But so Naomi's first question is, any other hobbies besides reading? I mean, reading is probably my biggest hobby. I mean, watching Booktube is also a hobby. I have, if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I have a lot of videos in my watch later playlist. It's not great. So I try to watch as many Booktube videos as I can. I mean, also this is a hobby, you know, filming and editing and posting videos is a hobby. What else? I mean, I guess now I would consider like hanging out with Laszlo, going on walks, and just hanging out, I guess. One thing I'm considering getting into is diamond painting. I've seen some booktubers start to get into that, and it looks so calming, and I just envision myself like doing one of those and listening to an audiobook. That sounds really nice. So maybe I'll pick that up, I don't know. But yeah, those are my main hobbies, I think. I mean, I guess also like watching Netflix and stuff, but yeah. Naomi also asked what my favorite color is. So my favorite color is purple, but it very, very, very close second, it's yellow. Like purple and yellow are, I love those colors so much. But like, yeah, purple's my favorite and yellow is a very close second. A character you hardcore relate to. I mean, the first one who comes to mind is Kamai from Beyond the Black Door. But I don't know how much we relate to each other aside from the fact that we're both ace. But like in terms of that, I really, really related to her. I'd say also Frances from Radio Silence in terms of how stressed she got in terms of school and everything. Well, I would say I'm a mixture of Frances and Alid from Radio Silence. Like if you put those two together, I think that's me. So I guess them is what I would say. And favorite thriller book? That is a good question. Have I given any thrillers 5 stars? What thrillers have I even read? I'll have to look. Let me look at my Goodreads because I cannot think right now. The first one that comes to mind is The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson, but I didn't give that 5 stars. That was like 4.5 stars, I think. Does The Secret History count as a thriller? That's probably more of a mystery, I guess. Even then though, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably say The Kind Worth Killing. What else did I just say? Or The Secret History, if that's a thriller. I don't know if that's considered a thriller. So, The Kind Worth Killing. Let's just go with that one. Okay, and my dream job. I mean, I will hopefully be a librarian in the future. I think that's what my plan is right now. But I actually recently got a job working in an independent bookstore, which is kind of a dream for me. So that's amazing. But honestly, anything to do with books. So if I work in a bookstore, if I continue to work in a bookstore later on, or if I become a librarian, I would say that's my dream job. Okay, and then Brennan from Brennan, is your channel Brennan Dunaway? Or is that just your Instagram name? I love Brennan, she's amazing. So Brennan also asked what I like to do outside reading, but so I already answered that, but she also said, what's my favorite season? And I feel like this is an unpopular opinion, but my favorite season is winter. I love winter. I think it's because I'm a winter baby, so like I'm very, not that I wouldn't say I'm comfortable in the cold, but like I would much rather be cold than hot. I hate heat. I hate summer. Summer is by far my least favorite season. I hate it so much. I hate heat so much. So winter is where I feel most comfortable. And then, I mean, I also love fall and spring. Like I love the leaves changing color, and I love all the fall vibes, and then I love when spring comes and the weather starts to get a little bit warmer, but not too warm. But winter is the best. I love winter. And then my friend Salma asked, Jake Peralta and Laszlo Strange are falling off a cliff and you can only save one. Who is it? Salma is just out here asking the really tough questions. And also, I'm not gonna say anything, but I take offense to the way she worded this question. But I mean, I did also, it's funny because Jake was a name I was considering for Laszlo, but I feel like I have to pick Laszlo, but I love Jake so much. Actually, I'm gonna pick Jake. I would save Jake for a certain reason, but I'm not gonna say what the reason is, but if you've read Strange the Dreamer, you might understand. That's all I'm gonna say. And then Casey asked, one of my favorite questions, who would win in a fight, Lisa or Laszlo? So here's the thing. I think both Lisa and Laszlo would not want to fight each other. Like, Lisa for sure would not want to hurt Laszlo. Like, that's obvious. Also, I'm assuming Casey means Laszlo, my dog, not the character, but I'm gonna take it as my dog. So yeah, so Lisa would not want to hurt Laszlo. And I mean, obviously Laszlo would not want to hurt Lisa because he's very gentle, but when he gets excited, he jumps on me sometimes, and or like if I'm lying in bed, sometimes he'll just like come on top of me and start stomping, and he doesn't realize that that hurts me. He's just, you know, trying to show affection. So I think Laszlo would win because he would accidentally hurt Lisa, because Lisa would definitely not want to hurt him on purpose. So that's why I'm going with Laszlo, but I would not want to see that fight, honestly. Okay, so now I'm going to questions from Twitter. So Rachel from Let Me in the Library, one of my best friends here on Booktube, she asked me a whole bunch of questions. So let's just start. So first she asked, favorite ice cream flavor? I think it's strawberry. And I'm not just saying that because of Olivia Rodrigo, who, first of all, represent. But yeah, I think it is strawberry. I swear it's not because of Olivia Rodrigo, but I do love, it's like, it's so traditional, but it's so classic. I love strawberry ice cream, so I have to go with that. Hobby you always wanted to pick up? I'll just say diamond painting for now because I just mentioned it, but I would love to try it. Other than that, I have no idea. I can't think. Which author could you spend hours talking to in a coffee shop? Not Laini. She means Laini Taylor, obviously. I think I would go with Alice Oseman because I feel like we would have a lot to talk about. Because I like Radio Silence, one of my favorite books of all time. I love that. Also Heartstopper I love. Loveless I loved. Like everything I've read from her I've loved so far, so I think we would have a good conversation. So I'm gonna go with Alice Oseman. Then she asked, what would your dream book be? Author, characters, settings, tropes. Like, I don't know. My dream book is Strange the Dreamer. So, I mean, dream author, Laini Taylor. And then characters, I mean, Lazlo and Sarai would have to be there. Let's add in Francis and Aled from Radio Silence. Oh, let's add in Linus from House in the Cerulean Sea, and all the kids too, and Arthur. Let's bring them all in. And also Kamai from Beyond the Black Door. Oh, Kalia and DeMarco from Where Dreams Descend. Bring them in there. So yeah, let's just have them all hanging out. What else do I have to do? Setting? I don't know. I'll just choose Weep, I guess. Or the house in the Cerulean Sea. Oh my god, they should all just be in that house. Okay, that's my decision. And tropes, we can have hate to love, we can have fake dating, we can have found family. Those are the three main ones that I care about. We can have like someone's hurt, so someone has to nurse them back to health, you know. All of these are like romance tropes, but I love that. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that because this question is too much for my brain cells. And then Rachel said, please give us one more hidden recommendation based on your fave SpongeBob episodes. So if you're newer to my channel, I do have a video that I did back in September, I think, where I recommend books based on my favorite SpongeBob episodes, and that's probably, if not my favorite video I've done, it's definitely one of my favorite videos I've done. I love that video so much. I find it really funny and I'm really proud of it. So I'll leave that linked up above if you guys want to check that out. But I am planning on doing a part 2 to that video, so I'm not going to answer that, so stay tuned for that, because I might be planning a part 2. So the next few questions are from Steph from Coffee Over Apples. So she asked, how did you find out about Booktube? So here's my story. So I would say in like the end of spring, beginning of summer of 2019 is when I started to really get back into reading after not really reading much for like 4 or 5 years, and I just all of a sudden like was reading so much, which was so different for me because like in the past few years combined I had read maybe like 2 or 3 books, and now all of a sudden I was reading book after book and I was starting to buy more books, and I was like, oh my god, like I just wish I could talk to people about all these books. And I had my friend Salma, who she's the one who recommended me a lot of books when I was looking for more books to read, but I can't remember exactly what I searched, but I looked up something on YouTube, and I was something probably like best, you know, contemporaries or best fantasy books or something like that, and I think the first person I found was Hannah from A Clockwork Reader, and I watched her video and I was like, oh my god. I love this. And then through her I found so many other booktubers, and then I kind of got obsessed with Booktube, and then eventually started my channel. So that's what happened. Okay, so she also asked what my future plans are for my channel. I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of video ideas that I would love to do. I have a lot of ideas for secret TBRs I could do, but it always takes me a while to do those, so we'll see when I get to those. But like, I have ideas for videos I could do, but in terms of like my channel in general, I don't know. So we'll just see how it goes. I don't know. And then she asked, if you could meet Laini Taylor, what would you ask them? Steph. I don't know how to answer this. Well, I have kind of spoken to her before. I'm one of her patrons on Patreon, and like I've been part of live shows that she's done for her patrons, and I don't know if I've ever asked a particular question besides like, can you tell us anything about your next book? So I have like kind of communicate, like I've commented on posts she's written and she's answered me, so we have communicated a few times, you know. We're like best friends. But if I had to ask one, I mean, it would just be about her next book. What's the title? Just give it to me. It would just be questions about her next book, honestly, because she talks a lot about like her writing process on her Patreon, so I don't really have too many questions about that because she talks about it a lot. So yeah, it would just be questions about her next book, I think. So next I have a few questions from Anya, who is, I love her so much. She has been such a huge supporter of my channel. So thank you so much, Anya, for supporting me. So her first question is favorite underrated book, and I have to say Beyond the Black Door by A.M. Strickland. I read that recently and I adored it. It was so good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and besides the people I read it with for the Perfectly Queer book club, I don't know anyone who's read it, so that one is definitely underrated and I highly recommend it. She also asked, what are the most underappreciated animals? I don't know. I mean, my favorite animals are turtles, but I feel like they're appreciated. I don't know. If I think of something, I'll put it on the screen because I cannot think, but I'll just say turtles for now. What's the story behind my name? So there's not like a, you know, super beautiful story behind my name. Basically, when my mom was pregnant with me, they were thinking of, like, my parents didn't find out my gender until I was born, so they were thinking of names for boys and girls, but when they were considering girls' names, they liked the names Daria and Darren, so they put them together, and that's how we got my name. That's it. It's nothing too fancy or anything. Favorite underrated musical artist? I feel like I'm kind of basic and like a lot of popular artists, which is not a bad thing, but yeah, so I don't know who would be underrated. The first person who comes to mind, and I don't think she's very underrated, but she's not like, you know, one of the biggest stars or whatever, but I've been really starting to listen to a lot of Aurora lately. I love her so much. Her voice is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. So I guess I'll say Aurora. Ugh. I love her song so much. And then Anya asked Deja Vu or Driver's License. And I don't know why you would ask something so hard. But, okay, first of all, I love both these songs so much. If you don't know, these are songs by Olivia Rodrigo. But I have to go with Driver's License. As the shirt says, like, it's just so good. I don't know how anything can top that song. It's so good. I have a whole song about Driver's License if you want to, a whole song. I have a whole video about Driver's License if you want to check that out. I recommend books based on the song. I do love Deja Vu so much, but I have to go with Driver's License. And then she asked what my religion is. So I'm not very religious. I technically am Christian because I was baptized, but my family was never very religious. I think I was only baptized because it was important to my grandparents. But yeah, I'm not very religious. If you want to know about like my beliefs, I'm agnostic. I don't want to get too much into that because I feel like that's a big topic, but yeah, so that's all I'll say. So I have a few questions from Carbon Bonded Books. So she asks, what does your ideal day look like? So I guess it depends, but let's say it's a school day, and let's say it's, you know, this year during the pandemic and everything. So I wake up. I'm every day I need like some time to wake up. So even if I have, like, let's say I had a class at 8 a.m. Even though I'm home, like, I would not be able to wake up at like 10 to 8 or quarter to 8 or something like that. Like, I always like to wake up at least an hour, usually an hour and a half, honestly, before I actually have to like go be somewhere, because I need a lot of time to wake up. I really hate waking up and then like having to go do something right away, because then it just puts my whole day in a bad mood. So let's say I have class that day, so I wake up. I always spend the first like hour and a half of my day eating breakfast, usually watching Booktube, just like sitting on my couch, drinking coffee, just relaxing for the first part of my day. Then, well, now with Laszlo, then I usually go take him on a walk, and then we come back, and then if I have an afternoon class, then I have my class, and then once my class is done, I either do homework or I film or edit a video, and then I eat dinner, and then I take Laszlo for another walk after dinner, and then I always try to keep my evenings like free of work, because then it gives me something to like look forward to during the day. So unless I absolutely have to, I don't do any work in the evenings. I don't do homework, and I don't work on videos or anything unless I have to. So then in the evenings I usually watch Booktube or watch a show, and then I read. And that's my day usually. Not that exciting. Okay, so then she asks, if you had to redo a section of school, elementary, middle, high school, or college, which would you pick and why? So before I get into this question, I have to explain how the school system works in Quebec, because I'm from Quebec, in case you don't know, and we don't have like elementary school, then middle school, then high school, then college or whatever. We have elementary school, then high school. We don't have middle school. Then we have technically college. In Quebec it's called cégep. So we have cégep, then university. And it's not like this anywhere else. We're the only place that has cégep. I don't know why, but if I had to pick one, I would choose cégep 100%. I loved my time in cégep so much. That's where I studied theater, and it was just so much fun. I made such good friends there, and I mean, obviously I had hard times while I was there. Like, I wouldn't want to relive literally everything that happened while I was in cégep, but out of every type of school, every level, I guess, of school, that's definitely the one I would want to go back to. I loved it so much, and I miss it still, so yeah, that's what I would go with. What's my favorite meal? I love pasta. Anything with pasta. I'm just gonna say that. If you were to write a book, what genre would it be? So I would love to say fantasy, but I don't think I would have the patience to be able to create a fantasy world, so I would probably write contemporary. Okay, then Casey asked me some more interesting questions. So first she said, which fictional trio would you, me, and Lisa be? So this one I've tried to give some thought to, and I don't really have a good answer. I don't think there's really any fictional trio that really like encapsulates us. Encapsulates? I don't know. Like first, my initial thought was the Powerpuff Girls, because Casey would obviously be Buttercup, but then I was like, would me or Lisa be Bubbles? Because I feel like we're both Bubbles. I don't think either of us are Blossom. Like in terms of looks, I think I'm more Blossom because my hair is a bit darker than hers, I think. Maybe it's not, but anyways. But like in terms of personality, I feel like we're both Bubbles, so it would just be two Bubbles and Buttercup. And then like I was even looking up like fictional trios and I could not find anybody. So the answer I'm gonna go with is not an actual trio, but they're all characters from a show, and obviously I have to go with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because me and Casey have had this conversation before, but Casey is obviously Gina and I'm Amy and Lisa is Cheddar. So I know they're not really a trio in the show, but that's who we would be. Gina, Amy, and Cheddar. And that's the tea. Okay, then she asked, what do you think Laszlo's favorite book would be if the boy could read? Well, I feel like it would have to be Strange the Dreamer because it's his namesake and I would force him to like it, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. If you could hug any character, who would it be? Laszlo Strange, also Alid from Radio Silence. And then then Casey asked, well, she didn't ask, but she said, kill, marry, fuck, Lisa, Taylor Swift, or Olivia Rodrigo. And I hate her for asking this. Because, first of all, I'm gonna change fuck to, like, date. Because I don't want to fuck anybody. So, kill, marry, date. And, I mean, the easy part is that I would marry Lisa, 100%. Because I love her so much. And I think we would have a great life together. So that's out of the way. But then, who would I kill? Okay, so I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is the reasoning behind this decision, okay? And I want everybody to realize how much I love Taylor Swift, okay? She is everything to me. I love her so much. I have a Taylor Swift calendar behind me. I'm not wearing it right now, but I have multiple Taylor Swift shirts and sweaters, and I have the cardigan. I have loved her for how many years now? Like 14 years now. I love Taylor Swift. We all know I love Taylor Swift. I hosted a Taylor Swift themed readathon. Okay? I love Taylor Swift. However, the reasoning why I can't believe I'm gonna say this. The reason why I just realized I wasn't recording for the past little bit, so I don't know. I don't know how much I've said that I miss. So, oh my god. So we have been blessed with so many Taylor Swift albums. Like we right now have, I mean, we have 8, technically 9, but like we're gonna listen to Taylor's version of Fearless, okay? We're not gonna listen to the original one. But yeah, Taylor has blessed us with so many amazing albums, and obviously I would love a million more, but we have so much. Like I have enough to satisfy me for the rest of my life. And like in the past year alone, she has given us 3 new albums. So like, well, she's given us 3 albums. One technically isn't new, but whatever. So we have been blessed with so much Taylor Swift content. And also she's older, so I would feel less bad about killing her. I hate saying this, than Olivia Rodrigo, because Olivia's only 18. And we only have 2 songs from Olivia right now. And she has so much potential. We're gonna get an album from her soon. So I need to see where she goes. We all know I love Taylor Swift, okay? Do not come for me. Do not come for me, okay? I love Taylor Swift. Okay, I'm moving on. I hate that question. I do not like you, Lisa, okay? So then Salma asked me another question. She said, who would win in a fight, Tiger or Laszlo, and why is it Tiger? And then my brother answered her saying Tiger would clean the floor with Laszlo. So he answered the question for me. By the way, Tiger is my cat. She would beat Laszlo in a fight, no question. Like, yeah. Moving on. Okay, so then Sasha from the Redhead Reader asked, what's your least favorite part about Booktube so far? And I feel like, am I gonna go into this? I'll try not to go too far into this. So I feel like this is more book Twitter than Booktube, honestly, but I feel like people are very critical of booktubers, and I think it's good to definitely be critical of the people you're watching, especially when it comes to important issues. Like if a booktuber says something mean or racist or sexist or something like that, like obviously that should be something that you should criticize and bring up to the person. But I feel like there's a lot of criticisms. Like I feel like there's a lot of pressure on booktubers to read certain books and do certain types of videos, and I feel like there's just a lot of expectations on booktubers basically, and I don't love that. Like every time I sit down to film a video, I like kind of have to give myself a little pep talk, and you know, I just get anxious sometimes that, I don't know if I can explain this the right way, but I just feel like there's just a lot of pressure on booktubers to be a certain thing, to talk about certain books and read certain books and read a certain amount of books. Like I just feel like there's this huge pressure on us, and I don't love that. Honestly, that's what I don't know. I don't know if that made any sense, but hopefully it did. Okay, then Sasha said, if you could travel into one fictional world and stay for minimum 3 days, which would you choose? I mean, she just said fictional world, so it doesn't have to be a fantasy world. So can I go, oh, you know where I would go? I would go into the Osman verse, because all of her books connect with each other. Like in Radio Silence, or no, in Heartstopper you see characters from Radio Silence and her novel Solitaire. So I would go into the Osman verse so I could meet Nick and Charlie and Aled and Francis and just be all their friends, because their friend groups seem so pure and sweet and I love them. And yeah, so that's what I would do. Just be friends with all of them. If you could work with one author on a book tour promotional event besides Laini Taylor, who would it be? Everyone says besides Laini Taylor. But my next choice I think would be Janella Angelis who wrote Where Dreams Ascend, because if I got to work with her, first of all, she seems so nice. Like, again, I've spoken to her a couple times on Twitter and stuff, and she seems so nice, and I love Where Dreams Ascend so much, obviously. So if I could like work with her on especially the tour for When Night Breaks, that would be great. So I'll choose her. So my brother asked a few questions. He said, when are you gonna read The Way of Kings? Soon, hopefully, definitely this year. I'm gonna read it, I promise. What do you like the most about your dear sweet brother? I mean, I bet he thought I would say something insulting, but I'm gonna be genuine for a second. But my brother is basically my best friend. I love him very much. We have always got along very well, and I know a lot of people have like a not great relationship with their siblings and they fight a lot, and we have never really fought that much. Like, we've had little fights over the years, but nothing like crazy, and I know that he always has my back. Like, he has defended me multiple times before, and I know he would do anything for me, and I love him very much. And yeah, so there's a lot of things I love about him. If you could live in one fantasy world forever, but as a commoner with no special powers, what would it be? Here I was just thinking things were easy. Because in every fantasy world there's just people dying left and right, so what would I pick? Is there any good one? I'm like looking at my shelves. I have no idea. Because what's the point if you don't have any powers? I'm trying to think. Like, should I just choose an urban fantasy? Because then it would just be like real life and I wouldn't know about the fantastical things going on? I don't know, because I don't want to die. Okay, I'm just gonna say Where Dreams Ascend, because if I don't have special powers, I can still go to the shows and I could watch Kalia perform. So I think I'll just choose that. And I could observe DeMarco from afar, but also like things don't always end well at the shows, but it's fine. I'll just choose that one because I don't know what else to pick. And then he asked, would you rather fight 4 tiger-sized Lazlos or 1 Laszlo-sized tiger? So I feel like the answer is really easy. It's 1 Laszlo-sized tiger, because as we determined before, Tiger would easily win in a fight against Laszlo. So if I only had to fight 1 Laszlo and he's smaller, that would be pretty easy. So that's my answer. So the Bookish Nook asked a few questions. They asked, what do you like the most about Booktube? The friends I've made some of my greatest friends here on Booktube, and I've become so close with some people, and I just love this community so much. I love the people I've met, and yeah, so definitely the people I've met and the friends. How do you cope from setbacks? How do you cope up from setbacks? So, I don't know. I just get through it, honestly. I let myself be upset, and I let myself cry, and I let myself kind of, you know, just be sad for a day, and then I realize that I can't feel like that forever, and the emotions I'm feeling are okay, and they're normal, and they're valid, but I just need to move on, and I need to know that things will end up okay, and then they eventually do, and that's just kind of how I get through everything, I guess. I also, you know, I vent a lot to my friends and my mom and stuff like that, and yeah, I don't know. If you had one book that you could read all your lifetime, what would it be? Strange the Dreamer. Easy peasy. Okay, Krista asked, favorite video you've made? So I did mention the SpongeBob video before. I think that's my favorite in terms of like actual content. Another favorite is my first secret TBR that I did, which is my favorite booktubers chose what I read, and that one is a favorite because of the work I put into it. Like, I'm really proud of how that turned out and the process and just like all the work I put into that video. I'm really proud of that one. I'm proud of my Taylor Swift playlist-a-thon announcement video, I guess, because I'm just really proud of that readathon. So that video was a result of planning the readathon, I guess. So that one, I guess. Those are the ones that come to mind. I'm proud of my driver's license video, honestly. I thought that was creative and I liked how that turned out also. I think those are the main— oh, also my books and makeup tag. I was proud of that because I think it's really funny. If you guys haven't seen that one also. I don't know anything about makeup, and then I tried to put makeup on for that tag and I thought it was really funny. So, okay, so my friend Manda from Ginger Snapped Reads asked a few questions. What's your favorite underrated childhood book? So I think the one I have to go with is the book Flipped. I can't remember the author's name, but that book, I loved that book so much in elementary school. It's about like this young girl and young boy and their neighbors, and they meet when they're very young, like when they're 5 or something. The girl right away has like this huge crush on the boy, and the boy thinks she's like really annoying, and then the older they get, the less she starts to like him and the more he starts to like her, and so they flip. And I thought it was really cute when I was young. I mean, I haven't read it in a very long time, but I feel like I don't hear many people talk about that, so I really like that book. What would your talent gift be if you were a YAMC? Hopefully I could at least fly. That would be great. Maybe be a mind reader, because I'm a very empathetic person, so I feel like I can already like not read people's minds, but I feel like I feel others' emotions. Like if I was in the world of Keeper of the Lost Cities, I would be an empath, because that's what Keefe is, first of all. I feel like I'm already kind of an empath, so to have that as my power would make sense. but also to read people's minds, because I feel like those kind of go hand in hand, like reading emotions and actually reading people's minds. So I'm just gonna say that because I don't know. Okay, so then KJ asked favorite doctor and or companion. So I'm assuming you're asking this because my prompt jar is a TARDIS. So I don't watch Doctor Who anymore, but I did watch from the 9th Doctor, like up until they kind of rebooted it, and until kind of halfway, I think, through Peter Capaldi. So my favorite Doctor is David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, obviously. I love him. And then my favorite companion is Rose. I feel like nobody can beat them. I love them so much. I cry every time I think of Doomsday. So that's what I'm gonna say. What's the worst T Swift song and why is it Me? I love Me, okay? I love that song. I think it's really fun. I think my least favorite Taylor Swift song would probably be How You Get the Girl from 1989. That's probably my least favorite, and I don't even really dislike it. I mean, I do always skip it, but like, it's not like I'm like, ugh, this song sucks. It's just one that I don't love compared to all her other songs, so that's what I'm gonna go with. And then, what video of yours are you most proud of? I said a few before. Okay, so then Lisa asked a few questions. So, favorite villager from Animal Crossing. So, I love all my villagers right now. I feel like I have a really good group right now. I finally got one guy to leave that I really did not like, so that was great. So I think my favorites right now, it would have to be between Eric or Blair, because Blair is so sweet. I love her so much. She always seems so, I mean, they all seem happy to see me, but like, she always seems especially happy to see me. So I love her a lot. So I think I would go with Blair, and also Eric is like iconic. And he's so sweet and cute. I love Eric. So I would go with those two. Favorite bookish item that is not a book is hands down my Strange the Dreamer mug that I got when I got the Illumicrate Daughter of Smoke and Bone special edition. It came with a Strange the Dreamer mug and I love it so much. I drink, any chance I get, I drink my coffee out of that mug when it's not dirty. So that's my favorite. 7 or Enchanted. Enchanted was my favorite Taylor Swift song up until 7 came out. And now it's 7, so 7. Then she said me or Casey. And then said kidding, kinda. So you know I can't answer that question. I love you both equally, obviously. So there you go. And then the mean question. Favorite Laszlo, the character of the dog. Lisa. I mean, I have to go with the dog. I love him. I can't pick anyone over him. So I have to go with the dog, but obviously I love his namesake. And then we have a couple last questions from Rachel again. First she said, why Bad Blood? So the reason she's asking this is because I've said that Bad Blood is my favorite song from 1989. I stand by that. I know it's not like the most well-written song that Taylor's ever done. Like, I know. Okay, I know this. I just think it's a really fun song and I love it and I never skip it. So I'm sorry. Get off my back. And then she said, how much bagged milk do you consume per week? None. There you go. On that note, that's the end of the Q&A. I said this at the beginning, but I have a feeling this will be a long video, but thank you so much to everyone who asked questions, and obviously thank you for subscribing and for getting me to 1K. I am very grateful. Thank you so much. I cannot express enough how thankful I am and how grateful I am for this community. So thank you very much. Also, I did want to mention that I have opened a, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ko-fi page. So if anyone is interested, I feel really weird talking about it, but if anyone is interested in supporting my channel, you definitely do not have to, okay? You don't have to, but if anyone is interested, that will be linked down below, as well as all my other links, my Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads, my wish list. All of those are always linked down below. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Bye!